Welcome. We are the Bad Yogi Bunch.
Hang a few minutes with the Bad Yogi Bunch. Hang a few minutes with the Bad Yogi Bunch. BYB. No hair, no makeup or fancy shit. Just a big bag of fun, that's all, that's it. Hang a few minutes with the Bad Yogi Bunch. No rules, just fools with a Bad Yogi Bunch.
How about we start this with a treat for the puppies? Everybody? You can't see it.
They're not even here. Oh, they're here.
Jesus.
Jeez, so dangerous.
They're so sweet. Those little puppies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got alligators on the show. So let's focus,
Ooh,
everybody.
This is weird. Wheels are coming off.
I know, but the fans love it. They've been commenting. We love when you guys just start, but you really don't. And then you're just like, boom, and then it ends.
Yeah.
Do you think the fans ever go in there and go, I don't really see all the traffic that they're talking about here? Yeah,
No.
I'm looking for that.
No, that's because we block what they can see.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Only us know the real numbers.
Yeah.
And we are streaming fools these days. So on that note, Sammy, we have Erika from Melbourne.
Erika from Melbourne, who's a
dietitian.
But there was this a Japanese man in 1945 who survived 2 A-bombs, right? He was in Hiroshima. He survived that and then went to, Nagasaki?
What?
And then that's where he lived. He went home, and then there was another one there.
Can you believe
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? Survived. He lived to like 93 years old or something like that. Anyway, what's her name?
When did you say he died? And it was in the 21st century, wasn't it?
Yeah, in 2010.
God,
This was all in the comments, by the way. So
Yeah.
It's a really thorough question.
Yeah, Erika.
It was
is-
asked.
Erika.
But Erika wants to know, like, this man was, kind of lucky in a sense to survive that. But have you ever been in a situation where you felt like you were lucky?
My entire
First of all,
existence.
It doesn't sound like he was very lucky. Like,
there's a different way. Yeah.
a different way of looking at it.
But I think he's lucky in the story department.
I think
I
that,
think he's a bad
there's
example for us to tell a lucky story after.
Yeah, I
like
think-
one time I found a quarter.
yeah.
Dude
it
lives.
was smashed by a train, but
Yeah.
it's
But
a
you know
quarter.
what? There was a guy, and I think it was in Japan, that didn't know the war had ended. There was someone that didn't know the war had
That
ended.
was the episode of Gilligan's Island.
Oh, was it?
But I think
No.
it's based on a true story.
There is a movie about such.
The guy that didn't know, and he
Yeah.
was in the jungle for 40 or 30 years.
Lucky or unlucky?
Came out? Yeah. I think, Mark, can we fax check if there was someone that... Fax. If we could get the fax machine plugged in.
Yeah.
And then, because I need that later for my...
Yeah, Mark, can you
My
get the dial-up modem going?
I'm guessing Gilligan's Island is the more reliable source.
That's true. Show us episodes.
Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Enough
All right.
of that.
You ever felt like you were in a situation and you're like, I just got lucky?
I have one, maybe.
Oh,
Okay.
whoa, whoa,
Yeah,
whoa.
So when I had first moved to Nashville, I lived way outside of town because it was all I could afford living on my own. So I was coming into work one morning on a highway system. I was coming in from Antioch, if that matters to y'all.
It does matter.
So I'm coming in on the highways through there, like on 24, where it's just about to get weird and you make that corner into town. And I'm driving my old Pontiac Sunbird. And I'm just driving.
Sexy.
I have my cup of coffee in my lap. And all of a sudden, there's just I just feel something. And my vents in my dash, like my defrost vents, fly up and like land on me. And my coffee comes out of the cup and is all over me.
Oh my God.
What?
And what had happened is they were blasting. And so this was like 98, I guess, maybe. And they had put all the dynamite into the ground already in that area. And somebody came in with a backhoe and hit it and exploded. So I was the second car that got stopped on the highway. And so the guy in front of me, we all get out and we're on an overpass and he goes and looks down, which I guess maybe I think it's just where 40 comes in under 24, like going towards the airport.
Yeah.
but that's where that's where things had landed. And he's like, oh, don't look over here.
Oh
Don't
my
come
God.
over here.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. No, we wouldn't have been no one on that roadway that I was on was injured.
Yeah, but you're in a car and things are going the
Yeah.
wrong direction.
Yeah, it was just very scary, and it was just, it ignited.
That's
so it was-
crazy.
yeah. But then we also were like, well, let's just go. Like, we're the first cars here before paramedics
still on
and
the
everything.
bridge?
Yeah. So we just continued
Wow.
on.
Was the first car, did it?
No, that's why I'm saying so lucky doesn't necessarily, nobody, like, there was no debris that came down, like, in
Yeah, it doesn't
front
have
of
to be.
us.
It doesn't have to be a degree of
Right.
Yeah.
cinematic.
But I
kind
could have been on the highway underneath where everything landed.
Dang.
It was just a very freak accident.
Yeah.
And
Well,
Yeah.
that came to mind first. It's not the best example, but it
I
also,
bet Erica's going, wow.
wow,
Thank you.
wow, thanks for,
You know?
so where's Antioch? She's like,
Yeah.
Exactly. She's Googling
Check it
Antioch
out.
right now.
Yeah. I when I was I went on a month-long trek in the Himalayas, and there's a range called the Annapurna. And you basically walk uphill for 2 weeks and then you walk downhill for 2 weeks. But it's just stunning. But once you get to the top, there are these narrow trails that kind of skirt the base of the peaks, and to get to this base camp, and then you go over the saddle to the other side and you walk downhill. Anyway, that last day going up toward the base camp, and this is all, nothing grows at this elevation. It's all scree. Do you know what scree is?
No.
It's just all of the rock that has just been
pebble kind of.
pebble.
Right?
Yeah, it's just like this. It's just like gravel pebbles all the way down, and then there's a big river off to the right. But I remember just walking. We've been walking for 2 weeks, and you kind of get in this zone. It's very meditative. So you kind of, you don't have to really pay attention when you walk. You can just kind of walk, right? Just
On
being
a
in this
path.
zone.
It's
Yes.
on a path.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I remember not hearing it, but looking up and seeing a boulder like the size of a Volkswagen.
Oh.
Like, not that far in front of me, just come roaring down the mountain. And I just realized, like, I'm in this place that's like liquid, but it's rocks. It's falling. We'd gone through like 6 avalanche zones that where villages have been wiped out. But I just remember being like if I would have been,
Yeah.
if I hadn't have stopped and peed back there,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but I would have been flat. And
Crushed.
but it was just so quiet because there's all this other noise
Yeah.
around. So that was
And that happens all the time, probably. There.
all the time. Yeah, all the rocks are at the bottom.
But how was this? What weren't the rocks making any type of noise?
I mean, maybe they were. It's like
was
it's
it
like
just-
if you rolled a boulder
Yeah.
down sand almost.
Right.
Okay.
And your
'Cause-
feet are making
okay.
noise. So
And
you're
yeah.
just kind of
wind,
listening
and
to
there's
that.
There's
Yeah.
a river, and there's just all this stuff. And then,
And well, you're into the walk as well, right?
Mhm.
So you're not really thinking.
yeah,
of
that's just it. You're
boulders.
just like,
Yeah.
You got
you're
Taylor
not
Swift,
looking
and you've
around.
got Taylor
Yeah, you're not
Swift in the
expecting,
headphones.
Yeah.
yeah.
Headphones. Were there headphones then?
Yes. In the 1870s, they had very rudimentary. They're made out of bone. You could get them. Yeah.
Hey, that's the
Sorry
fun
for
stuff.
throwing that wrench
Oh
in.
my gosh.
The Walkman, though, it's a wooden box, and you have and then you listen to your headphones. So,
Just
yeah.
you put musical entertainment in the wagon.
You just had a whole
behind you.
band, actually.
Yeah,
You just
it's
have a
fun.
band that walks with you.
Uh-huh.
So, but yeah,
Erica,
that
I'm
was-
sorry.
Yeah.
We get off track sometimes.
So I don't know. I guess I felt. I did
Yeah.
feel pretty lucky.
Yeah, I'll say.
Just like, oh. Anyway.
Did it change the way you traveled the rest of the trip? Like, were you more aware?
No,
No?
apparently, because the next day, so we got to the base camp, and I may have even told this. Did I tell you the story of going over the saddle in the fog? In the
Mm-mm.
okay, so the
No.
next day, so
No.
we go to this base camp, and it's just a bunkhouse. You're like, I think the saddle is like 16 or 18,000 feet,
Mhm.
and so the base camp, you have to go up and over the saddle in a day. you have to do that because the clouds come in at a certain point and you can't see anything. And so they tell you like you need to leave at like 4 in the morning.
So you're that high into the
Not as high as you right now, but but yeah, so you're really far up there, and we were just being kind of, you think, just survived a boulder
attack.
We should pay attention and heed the instructions, and of course we left way too late in the day. And we were just dawdling up the hill. There were people going up, and we don't want to travel in a group, so we get to the saddle at the very top, and there's a little like a monument, and I think we smoked some hashish and ate some food, and then all of a sudden, like, these clouds come in, and you literally cannot see anything, and then
freak out.
We're hearing like avalanches, and you don't know, and the sound is just booming around, and
you just had the boulder mess.
Yeah, and we're like, I could have left 4 hours before, and so, and which will sober you up very quickly. Like, it's an avalanche. Is it coming over? Where is it? Is it a mile off? Is it right here? So we're like, let's go. And we were with a couple of other people. And so we start heading down. But of course, you're in a cloud. You can't see anything. And it lightens up a little bit, but still, this is just a giant mountain. There was this dog that was standing, and I'm like, oh, there's a dog, and I'm calling the dog, and he will not come. He's just like this, looking, and he's pointing the other way. And so we're like
with his paw?
No. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and he had his headphones on.
Yeah.
No, but he's so, we walk toward it, and as we get close, he walks farther, but he doesn't walk too far. And he's just looking over the back of his shoulder, as well as a dog can do that. And anyway, so we're like, let's follow the dog. And so we did. We followed this dog, and there's no sense of a trail at all because you're so high up, and it's all, the weather's changing all the time and just erasing the path. So we follow this dog for 4 or 5 hours.
He saved you, didn't he?
Took us to this village, and there was a little cafe. We bought him a Tibetan pizza, and it's just beans and yak cheese or whatever. And
that sounds delicious.
But what's really funny, so I felt very lucky.
Yeah,
sure.
Damn.
But it really wasn't, because about 3 months later, I met this other American guy traveling, and he's like, "Oh, we did that circuit." He's like, "Did you go over the saddle?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Did you go late in the day?" I was like, "We were late." He said, "Did you see the dog?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, that's what the dog does every day. Walks up there and gets the stragglers, gets down to the bottom and eats a pizza."
That is amazing.
Isn't that funny?
That is.
So I felt lucky, but it's like, no, there's a guide there every day taking you down. It's just a dog,
That is freaking
That's
awesome.
wonderful.
That is pretty awesome. Good story.
Sorry it was so long.
No.
You could have made it a ghost story and said there was no dog.
Oh, wow. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Gordon.
My lucky turn. I was a young man, 19. I was 19 years old. I was challenged to get
so many
drag.
jokes.
Hold him.
I was challenged to get myself in drag and go out with a friend of mine. I'd never done it. I probably fancied myself like on Halloween or something, but I'd never really gotten myself in highfalutin drag.
Yeah.
Highfalutin.
So I went out. I had no intention of. I had no other than being seen. That's all I wanted. I didn't want to do anything but just be seen, be there and be seen. They asked me if I would do a number, and I was like, "What do you mean a number? Get up on the stage and do a number for us." And I was like, "Well, I'm not prepared to do anything." I wasn't, and they kept asking me. I was wearing blue slacks and blue polka dot scarf. I had a big hat. I liked them even then. I liked the big hats. And had one of those on and one of those big straw fans. And I said, "Play Sophisticated Lady," Natalie Cole. Just play that song. knew not the first word of the song. I walked around with that fan in front of my face and flirted with the audience. And I thought, well, okay. They come back the next day. Do you want to go to work?
Really?
Do you want to go to work and see how this does? And I was like, well, I don't have anything. I don't have anything to do. And they were like, well. Then I lived with 4 other drag queens anyway, so
that's where you got lucky.
They helped me, they helped me out.
Yeah.
They helped me out, and it was. Well, I watched around with other drag queens, and you have to work hard. Yeah. You have to work hard to get there.
Sure.
My audience, boom! They just said she's a beauty, and I was in that was in August. By Labor Day, I was in the premiere bar working.
Wow! So it's like, that's. You made your own luck.
Yeah.
Like you have luck.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like you have it.
Yeah.
And then like it was kind of like the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
But you had to say yes to some stuff. Because a lot of people, they might have asked 20 people to do that. And they all said no and you said yes. So I like that story, Gordon.
Yeah.
Well, and it gave me a 15-year career.
Yeah.
So it was fun.
May I ask, because it was very spontaneous, you went out, right? Did you go out with a drag queen friend?
Yes.
Okay. When you got offered the job and you did so well, was there any jealousy like there is in the music business? Was there any, because like bands, stick together until one gets signed and does really well, and then they're all like, and they kind of bash them. Were they supportive of you? The others in the house?
Yes, they were supportive in the large part. There were 4 other drag queens and myself. I know that licking.
We have for those at home, we have a dog licking its paws under the table.
Yeah, that comment with what he just said is different than what was actually happening in the room. But yes,
Here at the Bad
well,
Yogi
Dave.
Yes, it got difficult.
Yeah.
It's I would imagine like with any business, one person jumps in with little experience and they zenith to the top,
That's what's happening. That's what's happening with our podcast. Like so many big podcasters are watching our podcast and jealous because of how we do it.
And they're like, I wish a boulder would crush these people.
Yes. You know it, Angee. You know they're talking about us.
I've read all of the comments. I know they are. They're definitely talking about us.
My favorite still is I'm not sure what this was, but I can't stop watching
Our very first comment.
Yeah, it's the best one.
Best one. Yeah.
And it wasn't Erika.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What about you? You ever felt lucky?
I have felt lucky my entire life.
Right.
And so I could pick several life-saving luck. Right.
Yeah,
that was a big one.
Real.
Is there a particular event that's
there's
or 3?
I've been thinking about this while you guys were talking, not listening to you at all. And I'm going to go with one that is special because I have never told anybody about it. Where I was in Mexico, I was 18. I was with a bunch of friends, and I wasn't drinking, and I have a slight phobia of the ocean that I kept very quiet. And but I'll go in, but I just won't go out too far. It was this one particular day, early in the trip, and I forget, we were in Cancun, and everyone was on the beach. A whole group was on the beach having a great time, volleyball, drinking, all the stuff you did. I went in the water and I was like, I'm going to just get over this phobia. And I went out not very far, but I was going to go as far as I could. Anyways, I got out to where I maybe 50 feet out, and I got sucked in like to a current,
Oh.
Yeah.
and I dove and I got sucked in, and I fought it because I didn't, and I'm a good swimmer. At the time I got sucked out so far, and when I came up, I got sucked down again. And so this thing was like ripping, and it was going, and I couldn't get myself out, and I finally gave up. Like I was dead. I felt this is it, and I can't fight it. And all of a sudden, when I stopped fighting, it spit me up. Like I came out, and I was so far away. My bathing suit was off. It had ripped it off, and I was so exhausted. I had nothing in me. I had a little bit of a help, and people were waving at me. They were waving at me and thinking I was having fun, and I just fell back like this. And for a second time, I was giving up.
Wow.
And some dude came flying out with a jet ski and got me just in time.
Yeah.
But I know, only I know, and I went back and we were laughing. Everyone was laughing, and I was kind of embarrassed. And I was, they brought me back, and I was buck naked.
Yeah.
And I was kind of crazy at the time. Like,
So like a
from
lot
that.
of people in Cancun.
Exactly. Yeah, so it
They're just like, oh,
it was
crazy
not a
white, drunk white
No,
guy.
but I remember
Yeah.
walking. They were trying to cover me, but I was just walking like aimlessly. My brain was just, something was wrong with it. But it was the closest I had ever tasted death.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's interesting. You and I have known each other a long time. I almost died in I got
Riptide?
in Santa Cruz with Glenn standing on the beach.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I thought I was going to die for sure.
And did you know
It
to
messed
let
me up, man.
Okay, yeah.
My jaw was locked for 3 days.
Wow.
I got out of the water and my body was purple.
Okay.
And it was I had just been swimming. The same thing, like I was duck diving and it spun me around and I would be running out of air and swimming to the
Yeah.
surface and hit the bottom. I mean, it was crazy. Man.
Yeah, I get
What a
anxiety.
dark episode.
See,
I
I'm
get it.
probably
Well-
never going in the ocean again.
But
Yeah,
you know
but-
what? I get anxiety thinking about that, but then I remember that when I came out of it, I was definitely not over my phobia, but something happens when you get so lucky like that. Like, I think I became a better person. I don't know. I'm not going to say I was
Gives you a different perspective,
a
maybe.
different perspective. Everything
Yeah.
was a little easier after
Yeah.
that. But that was the luckiest moment of my life, I would say.
Wow.
I like it. There are like 3 danger stories, and there's one like Gordon's luck is
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
I found this place where like I found
Yeah.
this whole new life I made for myself. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yep. Well done.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Erica, I hope that makes you think about drag queens and
hiking and
riptides.
swimming and driving in Antioch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll
Yeah.
tell you, the
Yeah.
riptides in the ocean, I'll probably never.
Well, those you can avoid the situation I got myself. You can avoid, just don't go in the water. Can't avoid that.
No, you can't.
Yours.
Mm-mm.
Hidden dynamite in Antioch.
Mhm.
Those
Yeah.
kids out
Look
there,
out.
man.
That does not sound real.
Everybody, the Bad Yogi Bunch wishes you a wonderful evening and week and morning, however you're watching this, wherever you're watching this. Thank you, and we love you.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
Should we all wave again? It's over.
Wave
Now
at
it's
the
cut.
big camera. Wave at
Oh.
that one. Oh my God.
That's our wide.
The wide angle.
It's the wide angle.
It's for me.
Nice one, you guys.
That was great.
Come on, let's do another one.
Yeah.
Let's do another
Let's
one.
do another one?
I brought